Xia Yunhe, let's divorce, Jiang Chen said with difficulty, looking at the exquisitely made-up woman before him. He'd agonized over this decision for 3 sleepless nights, unable to bring himself to say it, until this phone call shattered his last hope. He finally made up his mind and spoke the words without hesitation. Sister, when will you be here? A clear, slightly petulant male voice crackled from the phone. It's my birthday today. You promised to be with me. Don't be late. I know. I'm on my way. I'll be there on time. The elegantly dressed woman soothed the caller, draping a jacket from the sofa over her shoulders. Hanging up, she turned to Jiang Chen. There's an urgent meeting at the office. I need to go back. We can talk later. Without waiting for his reply, she turned and left. Jiang Chen stood there, watching her disappear through the door, a desolate smile playing on his lips. Xia Yunhe, you don't even blush when you lie anymore. You don't think I'm deaf, do you? I heard everything from here. Today was their 3rd wedding anniversary. He'd spent the morning meticulously preparing, hoping to mend their relationship, to salvage what was left. But a single phone call from Chao Fan had effortlessly whisked her away, leaving his preparations completely ignored. He remembered the Xia Yunhe of the past, their college romance, their marriage after graduation. They were a perfect match, envied by many. She'd travel thousands of miles from abroad during her vacation just to say, "Happy birthday." She'd nursed him tirelessly when he was sick. She'd sneak out on New Year's Eve to be with him. When did things change? Around their 2nd wedding anniversary. It was also the 2nd year she'd been sponsoring Chao Fan. The 1st year, she'd simply seen him as a needy student, a boy who called her sister. His endearing personality had easily won her over. By the 2nd year, their relationship had become significantly closer. From then on, Xia Yunhe worked late frequently, neglecting their holidays, while Chao Fan became her closest confidant. Jiang Chen hadn't been passive. He'd argued with Xia Yunhe countless times, but it only made her resent him more, her attitude growing increasingly cold. By their 3rd year, their relationship had reached freezing point. They barely spoke for a month. Xia Yunhe and Chao Fan, however, grew increasingly close. Many nights, a drunken Xia Yunhe was escorted home by Chao Fan. Through these sleepless nights, Jiang Chen's heart grew colder and colder, until finally it died. "Sir, shall I reheat the food?" a servant asked. "No, take it away." Jiang Chen waved his hand. His posture slumped, a deep weariness settling over him. "If the love is gone, then let's part ways, each going our separate paths." These past few years have been exhausting. He'd constantly compromised for Xia Yunhe. She disliked him being in the public eye, so he stayed home, enduring the whispers of him being a kept man. She disliked him associating with his old friends, so he cut ties with his college buddies. He'd changed everything she disliked, but it was never enough. This was for the best. He no longer had any expectations of her, and he could finally be himself again. "Hey, Ruanchang, it's Jiang Chen." He dialed a number. The other end seemed surprised, silent for a while before replying. "The great Jiang Chen, it's time to call me? Aren't you afraid your wife will be upset?" Jiang Chen ignored the sarcasm. "Free for a drink." "What? Dumped? And now you're thinking of me?" "Yes, I'm getting a divorce." "What?" A gasp from the other end, followed by a long silence. Finally, a voice. "Address?" "You pick." The other end hung up, quickly sending an address. Jiang Chen arrived at a restaurant shortly after and was guided to a private room where he found his old college friend, Ruanchang. "You're really getting a divorce?" Sitting opposite each other, Ruanchang poured him a drink. Jiang Chen nodded. Ruanchang sighed. "Back then, so many people thought you two were a perfect match, a fairy tale come true. Who knew it would end like this?" Though he harbored some resentment towards Jiang Chen's actions, seeing his old friend in such a state softened his heart. "Life's unpredictable," Jiang Chen said, downing his drink. "Don't drink so fast, it's strong stuff," Ruanchang reminded him, refilling his glass. "It's just a divorce, what's the big deal? You gave up the forest for a single tree. I don't understand your thinking back then. With your looks and background, you could have had 3 wives if you wanted. I knew several girls in our class who had crushes on you. But you only had eyes for Xia Yunhe, didn't even give them a second glance. It's all in the past. Let's drink. They drank, reminiscing about their college days, a bittersweet nostalgia hanging in the air. Excuse me, I need to use the restroom, Jiang Chen said, getting up. On his way back, he passed a private room where a waiter was delivering food. He froze, hearing a familiar voice. Looking up, he saw a familiar figure. Inside, a group of people sat around a table, mostly students with youthful faces. Xia Yunhe, exquisitely made up, sat in the center, her beauty striking. Beside her was a clean-cut young man, Chao Fan. Don't ply sister with drinks, she can't handle it, the young man said with a warm smile, shielding the woman from the others. If Xia Yunhe won't drink, then you drink for her, someone said. Chao Fan replied, I need to take sister home later, I can't drink. No fun. Then you two kiss. Kiss. And we'll let you and Yunhe go. The others began to chant. Kiss. 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 Chao Fan's face flushed, his eyes, wet and glistening, fixed on the woman. She, whether from the alcohol or shyness, had a rosy blush on her cheeks. She didn't refuse, only tilting her head slightly, as if waiting. Chao Fan, feigning reluctance, slowly leaned towards Xia Yunhe. Just as their lips were about to touch, Xia Yunhe abruptly stood. She looked towards the door, her eyes meeting Jiang Chen's, a flicker of panic crossing her face. The panic vanished as quickly as it came, replaced by a slight frown. Jiang Chen, what are you doing here? The room fell silent, everyone clearly recognizing Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen remained expressionless. Where I am is none of your business. You, on the other hand, shouldn't you be at a company meeting? He turned to leave, but Xia Yunhe rushed out, stopping him. Were you following me? Jiang Chen wasn't interested in arguing. Please move. I have people waiting. Xia Yunhe's face hardened. Don't pretend you weren't following me. I know all your friends, or lack thereof. A chill went through Jiang Chen. She knew he had no friends, yet she'd never cared. And she was the reason why. Believe what you want, he said, wanting nothing more than to leave. But Xia Yunhe persisted. What just happened wasn't what you think. Jiang Chen almost laughed. You were practically kissing. Am I blind? Should I apologize for interrupting your fun? Jiang Chen, don't be unreasonable. Move aside, Jiang Chen said coldly. Brother, don't blame sister. It's all my fault. A voice interrupted. The young man emerged from the room. I acted inappropriately, almost offending sister. She didn't really want to, but she didn't want to lose face. Please don't blame her. Jiang Chen looked at him, pale skin, delicate features, soft hair framing a shy expression, like a fragile doll. Huh? He laughed self-deprecatingly. Your wonderful sister doesn't care about such things. Just remember to close the door next time you play kissing games. He bypassed the pair and strode away. Watching him go, Xia Yunhe felt a strange unease and was about to chase after him to explain, when the young man spoke again. Sister, brother is definitely angry. He's misunderstood us many times before. You should go explain. I'm already happy you came to my birthday, but brother is the most important person to you. Those words stopped Xia Yunhe in her tracks. Don't bother. It's happened more than once. I'm not indulging him anymore. Back in the private room, Wan Chong asked, What happened? You were gone a long time. I think I heard you arguing. You must have misheard, Jiang Chen said with a smile, refilling their glasses. So, what have you been up to all these years? Tell me everything. As the alcohol flowed, their conversation deepened, years of distance melting away. Feeling the effects of the alcohol, Jiang Chen excused himself, promising to meet again soon before hailing a cab home. He'd barely arrived when Xia Yunhe walked in, hair disheveled, eyes glazed over, clearly very drunk. Chao Fan was with her. Wu Ma, sister is drunk. Take her to bed. Chao Fan instructed the housekeeper with the familiarity of someone at home. Xia Yunhe was led away, but Chao Fan remained, a challenging smile on his lips as he looked at Jiang Chen. He slowly approached, stopping in front of Jiang Chen. Without Xia Yunhe, his mask slipped. Sister doesn't love you at all. Why do you insist on clinging to her? Jiang Chen, sister loves me. Don't you see? Jiang Chen had seen this side of him before, remaining impassive. So what? She loves you. Yet she comes home every night. I'm her husband. As long as I'm here, you'll never be legitimate. You. Chao Fan's face contorted with anger. Your arrogance won't last. Sister will divorce you. Just wait. He glared at Jiang Chen before storming off. Jiang Chen dismissed his words, showered, and went to bed. He and Xia Yunhe had been sleeping in separate rooms for 6 months, at her request. As he was about to fall asleep, the door clicked open. Xia Yunhe, in pajamas, entered. Jiang Chen, I can explain what happened tonight. Jiang Chen looked at her, the light illuminating her face, accentuating her curves. Didn't you already explain? But you didn't believe me. Does it matter if I believe you? Of course it does. Today is Xiao Fan's birthday. I promised him I'd celebrate with him, and I didn't tell you because I was afraid you'd misunderstand. Jiang Chen sneered. You remember his birthday, but do you remember what today is? Xia Yunhe froze, a flicker of confusion crossing her face as she frantically searched her memory. Seems you don't remember. Today is our 3rd wedding anniversary, Jiang Chen supplied. Xia Yunhe's face paled. I'm sorry, I've been so busy lately, I forgot. She stammered, trying to explain. Xia Yunhe, stop pretending. If you cared, you wouldn't have forgotten this day. Xia Yunhe fell silent. If you're finished, close the door on your way out, Jiang Chen said. Xia Yunhe stood frozen, seemingly not hearing him. After a long moment, she turned and left, her spirit crushed. Jiang Chen sighed in relief, about to sleep, when his phone pinged. Big Shot asleep yet? A cute cartoon teddy bear avatar asked. Not yet, he replied. Then, how's that song I commissioned coming along? The album's due next month, and we're missing a final track. The company's been on my case. Please, Big Shot. It's finished. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Great. You're amazing, Big Shot. I want to hug and kiss you. Followed by a blowing kiss emoji. Jiang Chen's lips curled into a faint smile. 3 p.m. tomorrow, same place, Mingzhu Coffee Shop. Got it. I'll be there on time. Early the next morning, when Jiang Chen woke up, Xia Yunhe had already gone to the company. He found a lawyer and had him draft a divorce agreement, then went to a print shop to print it out. Master, to Xia's construction. He hailed a car and headed to Xia Yunhe's company. Arriving at the Xia's group building, he entered and was about to take the elevator when he was stopped by the receptionist. Hello, sir. Who are you looking for? You're CEO Xia. Do you have an appointment? No. Without an appointment, you can't go up. Don't you know who I am? Jiang Chen frowned slightly. Sir, no matter who you. Before the receptionist could finish, she was pulled aside by a security guard who hurried over. Mr. Jiang, you're here to see Xia again? The guard smiled broadly. She's new. She doesn't know you. Just go right up. Jiang Chen nodded and turned to leave. Who is he going to see Xia without an appointment? Remember him. This is CEO Xia's husband. Don't stop him in the future. Hearing the conversation behind him, Jiang Chen was expressionless. He had been to the Xia's group building many times because Xia Yunhe was extremely picky about food. If she didn't like it, she wouldn't eat it. Sometimes she was too busy and would forget to eat. Jiang Chen was worried about her health, so he often cooked and brought her food. However, he hadn't been there for a while. Because Xia Yunhe's taste slowly changed, she didn't touch the food he brought later, so he gradually stopped bringing it. Jiang Chen took the elevator directly to the top floor and headed straight for her office. Just as he reached the office door, a figure came out. Chao Fan, Jiang Chen. They were both stunned, not expecting to see each other there. This is Xia's group. What are you doing here? Jiang Chen frowned tightly. He knew that the thing Xia Yunhe hated the most was bringing personal relationships into work. Once, he saw Xia Yunhe working hard and felt sorry for her, wanting to help her in the company, but she refused. She also kept all the relatives of the Xia family out. I'm about to be a senior. I have time now and need an internship. When my sister found out, she let me come here to be her secretary. Chao Fan answered, with a hint of pride in his eyes. Jiang Chen sneered inwardly. He was used to Xia Yunhe's exceptions, but those exceptions were never for him. Where is Xia Yunhe? Sister is in a meeting. She has no time to see you. Chao Fan blocked his way. Jiang Chen looked at his childish behavior, scoffed, and slapped the divorce agreement on his chest. Then I won't disturb her. Please help me give this to her. He left without looking back. Why should I help you? Chao Fan snorted, about to throw it away, then glanced at it. Seeing the words divorce agreement, he was slightly stunned, quickly opened it, and was overjoyed. Sister, brother just brought you something. Chao Fan walked into the office and said softly. Xia Yunhe frowned slightly. Call me so, Xia at the company. Chao Fan quickly apologized. Sorry, sister. I mean CEO Xia. I forgot. Xia Yunhe nodded and took the document to read. However, after a few glances, she slammed it on the ground. CEO Xia, what's wrong? Chao Fan asked carefully. He actually wants to divorce me and even brought the divorce agreement to the company. It's... Xia Yunhe gasped with anger. It's ridiculous. I've been too good to him. That's why he's getting more and more daring. Chao Fan pretended to be surprised. Brother is using this trick again? Don't blame him. He just wants to get your attention. Hearing this, Xia Yunhe became even more angry. He wants a divorce? I'll grant him that. She picked up the divorce agreement and signed her name. Chao Fan comforted her. So, Xia, calm down. Brother is probably still angry about yesterday. That's why he did such an outrageous thing. Give him some time to cool down. He will realize his mistake and come back to apologize. Xia Yunhe slapped the divorce agreement on the table. He wants time to cool down, then I'll let him cool down this time. If he still doesn't reflect, I won't forgive him easily. CEO Xia, don't worry. This isn't the first time brother has done this. He should be back soon to admit his mistake. Xia Yunhe felt inexplicably irritable. Didn't I ask you to deliver the contract to Mr. Huang? I'll go now. After leaving Xia's group, Jiang Chen hailed a car and headed to the Pearl Cafe. He thought it was still early and planned to sit there for a while before the person he was meeting arrived, but when he got there, he found that the person was already there. An hour early, are all you big stars this free? Jiang Chen sat down in front of her. In front of him was a woman, her face unseen, as she wore a mask and sunglasses and a sun hat that almost completely covered her face. However, she had a slender figure, and even in a sitting posture, her good curves were still visible. Great God, you're early too? The woman said, I came in the morning. I canceled all my schedules today for your appointment. She took off her sunglasses, glanced around, and asked, They shouldn't recognize me, right? You're so covered up. It would be strange if they did. Jiang Chen ordered a coffee. The woman sighed. I have no choice. Usually it's fine, but today is different. If people knew that Lu Enyan was here, this place would be packed. And great God, you don't like that kind of environment. I'm afraid I'd scare you away. I've said it many times, don't call me great God. These songs are mine. I copied them. Liar. The woman didn't believe him. I've never heard those songs anywhere else. Who did you copy them from? If I told you I copied them from another world, would you believe me? Great God, don't tell me you're an alien? Huh? Jiang Chen was helpless, not wanting to explain further, and handed over a few handwritten musical scores. The woman quickly took them and looked at them as if they were treasures. This song is called Bubble. The key is a bit high. Great God, you think too highly of me. You're too modest, Jiang Chen said. Song Queen Lu Enyan. If even your professional level isn't enough, I'm afraid there are few people in the entire music scene who can handle it. Here's the contract, Lu Enyan said, placing a document on the table. $5 million for the copyright plus 30% royalties. Same as before. Take a look. No need. I trust you, Jiang Chen replied, signing his name. Lu Enyan asked, Same as before? Investing the money in Xia Construction. No, Jiang Chen said flatly. No more money to Xia Construction. Existing contracts will be fulfilled, but we won't renew. No more business with them. He needed a clean break from Xia Yunhe, and that included financial ties. He wouldn't be her unwitting benefactor anymore. Over the years, he'd quietly amassed a fortune from song royalties and profits, secretly funding Xia Construction through a shell company, funneling profits to them and saving them multiple times. Xia wouldn't have survived these past few years otherwise. He knew Xia Yunhe was fiercely independent, so he kept it a secret. But his sacrifices hadn't earned him her heart. Lu Xi's eyes lit up. You and Xia Yunhe, you've had a falling out? Jiang Chen frowned. Were you investigating me? He'd never mentioned his relationship with Xia Yunhe. Don't blame me, Lu Xin said, sounding apologetic. You always specified Xia Sure Construction for collaborations, not for the money, which was curious. So, I did a little digging, and I found out. She added quickly. Honestly, I found it all online. I didn't mean to pry. Forget it, Jiang Chen said, dismissing it. Big shot, Lu Xin asked cautiously. You're divorced from Xia Yunhe? In the process, he replied. I see. So, after the divorce, are you looking for someone to take over? Her eyes sparkled. Like me? A top singer marrying a divorced man? Your fans would lose their minds. I don't care. So what if he's divorced? I don't mind. Sister, it's bad. Chao Fan rushed into Xia Yunhe's office at Xia Sure Construction. Xia Yunhe frowned, already agitated by Jiang Chen's divorce papers. What's wrong? Don't be so flustered. Chao Fan hesitated, clearly uncomfortable. Finally, he blurted, I didn't want to tell you, sister, but I felt it wasn't fair to keep it from you. Brother, he's done something. Xia Yunhe's apprehension grew. What's Jiang Chen done? Sister, you should see this for yourself. He handed her his phone, showing her pictures. The photos showed Jiang Chen with a woman, laughing and talking. Some, possibly due to the angle, showed them in close proximity. Xia Yunhe felt a jolt. He's got another woman. That's why he dared to file for divorce. She'd felt guilty, but now realized she was the fool. Xiao Fan, where did you take these? Sister, maybe it's not what you think, Chao Fan soothed. Maybe she's just a friend. Friends meeting for coffee. It's normal. Xia Yunhe scoffed. A friend? Friends don't meet in secret. He's clearly guilty. She knew Jiang Chen's friends. This woman wasn't one of them. Sister, I shouldn't have told you. I never imagined brother would be this kind of person. Chao Fan looked heartbroken. Xiao Fan, call the driver. Take me there now. Sister, are you disobeying me? Xia Yunhe's face was icy. Jiang Chen, finished discussing his new song with Lu Xin, was about to leave when Xia Yunhe confronted him. Jiang Chen, so you're divorcing me because you have a new girlfriend? The new flame trumps the old, so you're dumping me. Jiang Chen frowned. How did you get here? Xia Yunhe sneered. If I hadn't come, how would I have caught you too? Nearby customers were watching, curious about the argument. Let's talk about this somewhere else. Don't make a scene, Jiang Chen said, his face darkening. Oh, you care about appearances now? A married man keeping a mistress. You, Jiang Chen, are capable of this, and you're ashamed? Jiang Chen finally snapped. We're getting a divorce? Who I'm with is none of your business. Jiang Chen, remember? I haven't agreed to the divorce yet. As long as we're married, you're my husband, and as his wife, I have the right to call him out on his philandering. Ms. Xia, Lu Xin stepped forward from behind Jiang Chen. Please be respectful. Jiang Chen and I are innocent. Caught red-handed, and you still deny it? Xia Yunhe glared. Knowing he's married, you still meet him? Don't pretend you don't know what's going on. You're clearly hiding something. Lu Xin removed her hat, sunglasses, and mask. Jiang Chen and I are friends. Nothing more. We have nothing to hide. But Ms. Xia, there are pictures of you being affectionate with this man, who you now have with you. Who is the one with the problem? Lu Xin. It's really Lu Xin. Singer Lu Xin. She's beautiful. Even better in person. Xia Yunhe was stunned. You. How do you know him? She turned to Jiang Chen. How do you know Lu Xin? Lu Xin was hugely popular. Xia Yunhe had seen her countless times, but she couldn't understand their connection. Jiang Chen was uninterested in explaining. Are you finished? Who I know isn't your concern. He left without looking back. As Xia Yunhe tried to follow, Lu Xin said, Ms. Xia, even though it's your personal matter, I must say, finding a man like Jiang Chen was lucky, but you don't know how to appreciate him. Xia Yunhe's face was furious. After leaving the cafe, Jiang Chen returned to his villa, followed closely by Xia Yunhe. Jiang Chen, explain yourself. What's your relationship with Lucine? Xia Yunhe aggressively blocked his path, relentlessly demanding an explanation. Xia Yunhe, don't you think you're being ridiculous? Ridiculous? How? Jiang Chen chuckled. Have you shown any concern for me this past year? All your attention has been on Xiao Fan. You only have eyes for your younger colleague. Now that I've finally let go, you two can be together openly. Isn't that what you've always wanted? What are you talking about? Xiao Fan and I aren't what you think. Oh, really? Cuddling? Canoodling? Or maybe rolling around in bed? Jiang Chen retorted sarcastically. Xia Yunhe suddenly hugged him. Jiang Chen, stop it, okay? I know you're angry, but think about appearances. You're alone with other women. How am I supposed to feel? Jiang Chen was amused by her hypocrisy. So you understand that you feel bad when I'm with other women? But did you ever think about me? You're out all night with Xiao Fan, bringing him home late at night, time and time again. Did you ever think about how I felt? You think I didn't know what you were doing? Be honest with yourself. Did you not care, or did you simply not care? Xia Yunhe's face went pale. Get off me! Jiang Chen roughly pushed her away. You're a hypocrite. One rule for others, another for yourself. You disgust me. Xia Yunhe was stunned. You said I disgust you. In her memory, Jiang Chen had never spoken such hurtful words to her. This was a first. That's right. You're nauseating. I can't even eat when I see you. Jiang Chen mercilessly unleashed his resentment. That's how I feel about you. Yes. Don't pretend with me anymore. Your impatience with me has been written all over your face for a long time. So stop acting. He walked directly to his room. Jiang Chen, Xia Yunhe called out. If you want a divorce, I'll grant you one. I've already signed the divorce papers. I just hope you won't regret this decision. Jiang Chen paused, but didn't turn around. Thank you. The next morning, they went to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Are you sure you don't want any of the assets? You're leaving with nothing? Xia Yunhe confirmed again. Her makeup was flawless, her expressionless face resuming its usual powerful businesswoman demeanor. If I don't leave with nothing, will you even agree to the divorce? Jiang Chen sneered. Xia Yunhe remained impassive. Then let's sign. Leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, Jiang Chen felt a wave of relief. The long-accumulated frustration vanished, leaving him feeling incredibly light. Shall I have a driver take you home? Xia Yunhe asked calmly. No, I have a date. I won't keep you company. He turned and left. Are you going to see Lucine? Xia Yunhe called out. Jiang Chen paused, then continued walking, ignoring her question. Back at the office, Xia Yunhe felt incredibly agitated, everything irritating her. Our cooperation with Jiang Chen Real Estate has always been stable. Why would they suddenly terminate the contract? She slammed the documents onto her desk. A man with gold-rimmed glasses, in charge of the project, said, I don't know. Early this morning, they sent a notice terminating 2 projects that expired a few days ago, one expiring next week, and refusing to renew 4 ongoing projects upon expiration. How could this happen? Xia Yunhe was alarmed. Years ago, Xia's group had faced a crisis, and Jiang Chen Real Estate had bailed them out. Since then, the 2 companies have been closely cooperating without incident. Because the projects with Jiang Chen Real Estate were consistently profitable, Xia's group gradually shifted its focus to them. Jiang Chen's sudden withdrawal was a major blow. Did something happen to Jiang Chen Real Estate? She asked. The man replied, I haven't heard any rumors. Xia Yunhe pondered. Arrange a dinner for me with their CEO, Mr. Qiao, at Pingqing Hotel tonight. Okay. Didn't you say you work for a Fortune 500 company? Jiang Chen stared at the waiter. Isn't Pingqing Group also a Fortune 500 company? So, you said you're an executive? I manage 8 tables. Jiang Chen frowned. Ruan Chang? Are you kidding me? Who's kidding? I really work here. Ruan Chang's face contorted, his legs squeezed together as he removed his apron and hung it around Jiang Chen's neck. You came at the right time. It's the evening rush. Cover for me. I need to go to the bathroom. I'm about to burst. Ask them if you have any questions. I'll explain later. Before Jiang Chen could react, he dashed off. Jiang Chen was speechless. He'd arranged to meet Ruan Chang at the Pingqing Hotel, expecting a meal, but this was unexpected. He couldn't understand why Ruan Chang, a bright and capable student, would give up his profession for this. He'd have to ask him later. Just then a voice called out, "Jiang Chen." Jiang Chen looked up and saw a familiar face. "It's really you. I thought I was mistaken." The speaker was a man in his late 20s, wearing a sharp suit, his hair neatly combed. "How did you end up like this?" The young man scrutinized him with a hint of disdain. "You're a top university graduate. How did you end up serving plates? Your aunt would be furious if she knew." "Cousin, what are you doing here?" Jiang Chen greeted him. The man was Xia Yunhe, his second aunt's son. Their families hadn't spoken for years due to a past conflict. A client insisted I come for dinner. Couldn't refuse. Xia Yunhe said casually, "If I'd known you were in Sun City, I would have gotten you a job at my company. It's better than this, right?" "Oh, where do you work, cousin? Ever heard of Jiangchen Real Estate?"